Call in, connect. To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
Critics say your tariffs will end up being like a national sales tax.
Nope. The countries will pay.
If you have America at the moment has $3 trillion worth of imports, you're going to add tariffs to every single one of them. That is going to push up the cost for all those people who want to buy foreign goods.
Now, what's going to happen?
That is simple mathematics, President Trump.
It's not. Yeah, it is, but not the way you figure it. I was always very good at mathematics. Yes. Let me tell you, you're saying $3 trillion. Those companies, no, and they don't have to pay. When I was in office, I saw a man from a big steel company, and he was devastated. I knew him for a long time, and it's been a tough business. Certain things you have to have. Steel, you have to have. If you go to war, you know, there's a possibility you go to war. I kept us out of war. I had no wars in the whole world. I call it the weave. You can call it, you have the weave as long as you end up in the right location at the end. But while we're talking about it, we have never been so close to World War III as we are right now. With what's going on in Ukraine and Russia and the Middle East.
Yeah, I know. I know. He was asked about tariffs. The countries do not pay tariffs. You and me pay the tariffs. The importer pays the tariffs. And there are certain, I mean, he's talking blanket. He's talking 50%. He gave him this long, well, you know, they wouldn't, because his idea is this. He thinks that if you raise tariffs on imports, then all the countries that import to us will stop importing to us and will move here. They will move here. And they will open up, I don't know, French wineries here and not have to import French grapes. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure if it's, the Vulcan mind meld, if you have a transport machine, if it's the genie thing where you blink your eyes and all of a sudden you have Chardonnay grapes in, New Mexico. I don't know. But there are, this man who's interviewing him is beyond sickened and, just amazed at the stupidity of this man who's sitting in front of him, just amazed at his stupidity. The other thing is the Wall Street Journal said that if Donald Trump does what Donald Trump wants to do with the economy, we will see gross domestic product in this country drop by almost 10%. Now, gross domestic product when it's negative is a recession. When it's negative 10%, that's a depression. And that's what the Wall Street Journal is writing about. I see so many people, so many economists of all persuasions, okay? The left-wing ones like Paul Krugman, all the way to the Douglas Holtz-Eakins guys, and I mean, just every economist that you've ever heard of, every economist that weighs in on, an economic plan or tries to tell you what will happen if interest rates rise at this point or if interest rates are lowered at this point. Will we have a recession? Well, they all say the same thing about Donald Trump's plans. They say Donald Trump will add at least $7, if not $15 trillion to the deficit, to the debt and the deficit, and he will see negative growth, which is a recession, if not a depression. And I'm telling you right now, if you wanted to crash an economy, which they do, this is the dirty little secret. This is the one that I think I'm the only one that's willing to tell it. But the dirty little secret, there are a couple of writers. There's a guy, he wrote I'm going to say it was 97 pages. Oh, yeah, it was long. It was a thesis, basically, about how Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, when they were at PayPal and, going forward, and even back to the robber barons, even back to the original lobbyists at the National Association of Manufacturers, the Koch brothers and their father, Fred Koch, going back to the John Birch Society. I mean, he covered the entire history of a group of oligarchs, a group of elitists, a group of people in this country claiming to be more American than apple pie, trying to tank our economy for their own benefit so that there'll be one oligarch stand. Now, what's interesting, and also, the serious reason, the real reason for wanting to crash the economy these days is that Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, they both worked together at PayPal. And you know what PayPal was supposed to be, don't you? PayPal wasn't supposed to be, sort of a pay platform. No, it was supposed to replace the dollar. It was supposed to replace currency. It was going to be the new currency. Didn't work out that way. And so they sold it, right? And they sold it to somebody for, I forget who they sold it, eBay. I think they sold it to Meg Whitman, bought it at eBay for like, $1.2 billion or some crazy amount of money. And this is how they got, to be who they are. It's how they got to be rich. But they're not done trying to be the world's currency. They're not done. That's what this whole Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and Ethereum and that is what this is all about. And that is why Elon Musk has put 75 million of his own dollars into Donald Trump. This is why Peter Thiel put $10 million into J.D. Vance to get J.D. Vance not just into the United States Senate, because there he would be one of 100, but to make him Donald Trump's vice presidential nominee, to make him his running mate, so that if something happens to Donald Trump, which we can see happening to Donald Trump, J.D. Vance is the president of the United States and crashes the economy for them. And crypto, they think, becomes a thing. It becomes the world's currency. Seriously. It's what it's about. It is what it's about. Have you ever seen Peter Thiel? Have you ever seen him? He's a very unique creature, very, very, unique. As far as, like a Big Brother type, I mean, I should make this black and white. I should use AI and make it black and white or something like this, but I didn't want to put AI on this show. No. So anyway, here he is telling you what to be afraid of. Here he is.
I should not need to remind you that in the sort of quasi-mythological New Testament account, the slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and that there is we're told that there's nothing worse than Armageddon, but perhaps there is. Perhaps we should fear the Antichrist. Perhaps we should fear the one world totalitarian state more than Armageddon.
It's very interesting how he looks so much like Roy Cohn. Even the sweat, down to the sweatiness of him, that Jeremy Strong may not be a recast in The Apprentice 2 as Roy Cohn. Peter Thiel's a creepy dude. He really is. He's also not married to a woman. He's married to a man. And he isn't able to have children naturally. He had to use, like fertility and, I think a surrogate or adoption. I'm not really sure which. But, all these are options that were available back in the good old days. And now they're not, if you're in Alabama especially, or Texas for that matter. Yeah, no, they have a plan. They have a plan. And the plan is one world government. The plan is their currency replacing the dollar. Their plan is to crash the U.S. economy and make the dollar not the reserve currency anymore. And Donald Trump is where they put their money. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.